So I noticed some people wanted an extra part to it, and sadly there was no for both endings. So this is the written ending for both that I created. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And sorry, I was laughing at the picture. I decided to put the album in. So let's get started. Both Bakugo and Todoroki ending. They both stared at the girl in front of them. The girl had been looking at the ground on the verge of crying. She wished to be with both of them. She didn't want to hurt their hearts, but she knew that if she picked them both, it would create chaos. But she didn't want to leave one by themselves. I know it's cool of me to say this, but I can't just leave one of you by yourselves. I wish to be with both of you. She tried not having the tears run down her face, but they sadly ended, but doing so. The two boys, even if they hated each other, ran to comfort her. They both enjoyed being with her. Once the tears had stopped, she thanked them and smiled at them. If you would ask the boys what you looked like when you smiled at them, well, let's just say they would both have said her smile was brighter than the sun itself. Both of the boys sat there, staring at her, not noticing the confusion look that she gave the two. Once they were snapped out of the little trance, she was walking away. She looked at the two and said with a smile once more on her face, "Are you two coming, or just going to stay there all night?" The two ran to her side, not wanting to be left in the dust. Walking both on opposite sides of Yin, wondering where they were going, but then Bakugo looked at his surroundings and knew where they were going. "Are we going to the inn, the one I like?" he asked Yin. "Of course, that's the closest one, and if you haven't noticed, it's getting dark," she said. Both of the boys thought of how beautiful her voice was. It was like a godly voice. They finally got into their rooms. It was a room with 3 beds, which both of the boys wanted to lay with Yin, which happened. They both slept on opposite sides. Even if they hated each other, their love for her was the same. The next day, all of them woke up to the sun on their faces, getting ready for the day. They set off on their mission all together. They promised each other to stay by their sides, even if the boys actually didn't like that they had to. They did it for their tide, Yin. "Grandma, is that how it ends?" the little girl asked her grandmother. "Yes, dear, because that was all that was written," her grandmother said. The little girl was sitting by her tide, a somewhat looking dragon girl. "Mimi, I heard that if other people or tides got close to Yin, they would get jealous and all lovey-dovey with her," Mimi's tide spoke to her. The girls giggled as the old woman passed an old photo of Yin, Bakugo, and Todoroki.